What's up, tribe? How y'all doing? I'm coming to you guys with a review of the MTV Movie Awards that literally just went off. But a couple of things I just wanted to say about the awards. First of all, I want to say I really enjoyed the awards. I absolutely. It's probably the first time in a really long time that I enjoyed an award show. Um, TIffany Haddish was the host, and they actually combined it. So it's the MTV Movie Awards, but they actually incorporated TV shows as well. Interesting that they did that because I feel like there's enough of both to, if MTV wanted to, they could just do a separate show and just like they have the daytime Emmys and then they have the regular Emmys if they so they can separate the categories. But whatever, MTV, it's cool. The only reason why I say I think you probably should separate it is because I feel like some movies or shows got shafted because you blended the two, but it's whatever. So Tiffany Haddish is your host. Now, I love Tiffany Haddish. I'm happy for her, but sometimes Tiffany Haddish can be a bit much. So I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about her performance, right? Because she can sometimes just do too much for me. I'm giving her an A plus, y'all. I'm giving her an A plus. I think that she did a phenomenal job. Her opening sequence, she did a parody with Black Panther where she was challenging T'Challa to the throne. She had a cameo by Lil Rel, Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith. If I'm missing somebody, I'm sorry. It sounds like Forrest Whitaker actually lended his voice. If not, I mean, I don't think it was. If not, it was somebody who does a great Forrest Whitaker voice. And I'm sure she obviously had to get permission from Black Panther to be able to use that much of the movie because she used like that whole sequence of where she's challenging him, and then at the end she becomes the Black Unicorn, which is her thing. You know, when if you follow her or you know anything about her, I've read her book and everything. That's her thing. She's the Black Unicorn. So I thought that was really cute, really well done. The way they spliced it in, it was good. She did like a whole dance sequence with waterfalls. You know, it was cute. It really was. It wasn't too much. It didn't make me be like, oh Lord. I thought it was really cute. Then her opening, in her opening, she did a parody of Cardi B of Bodak Yellow. She actually had the white dress on, well, a replica of the white dress that Cardi B wore when she revealed that she was pregnant. That white dress was beautiful. And she had a rap to Bodak Yellow. The only thing was she ran out of breath at the end. So I'm like, I guess you ain't do all that extra in the rehearsal because she sort of ran out of breath. But if you listen to the words of the rap, it was real cute. It was real on point to where she is in her career and what's going on with her at this time. And she was talking about how hard she working, and I'm like, hell yeah, because every time I look up, she's in everything. She even has another movie coming out in the fall, a Tyler Perry movie that's got Whoopi Goldberg, my girl from The Have and the Have Nots, and the other young lady. I can't think of her name, but I know her face. Anyway, and it looks like it's going to be a cute movie. She gets out of jail, and her two sisters are kind of doing really well for themselves, and Whoopi Goldberg plays the mother. It looks like it's going to be a cute little hang out with your girlfriends kind of thing. Um, and then there was a really funny part where she was looking at Michael B. Jordan was in the front, and they have it set up like the Emmy, so people were at tables and they were sitting with the cast of their show. So I thought that was a nice touch, a nice little added touch. So all the Black Panther people were sitting together, and so she says, you know, Michael B. Jordan, you so fine, you probably can make women pregnant just by looking at them. And you know, he kind of mugs for the camera, and she was like, look at me. And then she has a device that she gets shows that she's pregnant, so she looks like Cardi B looked, you know, pregnant. She's like, look at that, look at that. It was cute. It was funny. Like I said, it wasn't too much. It was not too much. And then throughout the show, every time she did a wardrobe change, she did an iconic look from a movie. She did Breakfast at Tiffany's. She did Vanessa Bell Calloway from Coming to America. She did the Gone with the Wind, the iconic Gone with the Wind with the from the Carol Burnett version with the curtain rod and everything. She did, what else did she do? She did a few other looks. But every time she came back, it was an iconic look. She actually won an award, which she wasn't ready for because she had to come out there in her robe and her slippers because she was actually changing when they told her she was getting ready to be called, and they told her, put some clothes on, you gotta go get your award. Black Panther pretty much won everything. The only award Black Panther didn't win was Steamsealer. My girl Zuri was nominated for that, but she didn't get it. I think she deserved it because she stole the whole show. She was hilarious. But they won for best villain, Michael B. Jordan, best hero, Chadwick Boseman. Um, Chadwick Boseman won a second award for something. I can't remember what it was, but he won a second award. And then they won Movie of the Year. They won the big prize at the end. Two of the biggest highlights for me. Well, before I get to that, let me just say this. The other thing I liked about the show was it started on time and ended on time. You know, a lot of these shows end up lasted like the Grammys and all that. Like, I have to pause it and come back because I'm like, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I can't stay up all night looking at this shit. The other thing I liked about it was you actually saw people winning awards. There were not so many performances that you lost the show. You saw the people being nominated coming up giving speeches. There were only 3 performances, maybe either 2 or 3. And one of the performances were Beyonce's proteges, Chloe and I forget the Chloe. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And they did it. I enjoyed their performance. They did a really good job. And then it was Jonas, the Jonas brother and Mustard. And that might have been it. That might have been it. So I think it really gave everybody an opportunity to get the full shine, to win the award, to be nominated. And they had the best kisser and, you know, all that good stuff. So anyway, Riverdale won something and Stranger Things won some stuff. But the biggest winner was Black Panther. The 2 biggest things that stood for best reality show was some bullshit. Because Love and Hip Hop was nominated. The Housewives franchise was nominated. The Love and Hip Hop franchise, Housewives franchise. Oh, RuPaul's Drag Race and the Kardashians. And the fucking Kardashians won. Anyway, I guess somebody's still looking at it. Shit. So, let me make sure I got it all out before I give you my 2 biggest moments for me of the night. TIffany Haddish got Best Comedic Performance because she was nominated for, I think, 2 or 3 awards for Girls Trip. So, she got Best Comedic. She didn't win the first one, which was Scene Stealer. She didn't win that one, and then she was nominated for Best Comedic Performance, and that's the one that she won. Okay. The spoofs were cute, too. She did spoofs of top movies, and even a couple of the movies I hadn't seen, so I didn't know what the spoof was about, but it was, again, I thought they were well done, the way she spliced in the movie and what she was trying to do. It was only one that I was sort of like, what is she talking about? You know what I'm saying? But my 2 highlights of the night are, the first one was when Chadwick Boseman won his first award for best hero. He called on, he said, you know, because they did this whole thing about heroes, you know, the unsung heroes, teachers and service people and people in the military or what have you. And then when he won, he said, you know, we have a lot of unsung heroes. He said, we have one in the audience tonight. And he called him by name. He said, John Shaw Jr., stand up. And he stood up, and he was kind of like, you know, he was smiling and everything. I think he thought that, you know, Chadwick was just going to, you know, give him a thank you. And if you don't remember who he is, James Shaw Jr., he was the young man that wrestled down the shooter at the Waffle House, and stopped him from, you know, that being a worse situation. And he was there. I'm sure somebody flew him out there to be at the MTV Awards. And Chadwick Boseman actually called him up on stage and actually gave him his award and said, you know, I want to, you know, thank you for what you did, so forth and so on. And here, this award will go home with you. And I thought that was real nice. The second one, Lena Waithe was getting the Trailblazer Award. And if you're not sure who she is, she's the first black woman to win an Emmy for comedic writing earlier this year. She's also one of the co-creators of the show The Chi. Um, and she was in a Steven Spielberg movie earlier this year as well. So they gave her the Trailblazer Award, and when she received her award, especially in this moment right now that we're living in, with shows like Pose and My House becoming so popular, and I reviewed both of those shows, that really highlight the ballroom culture, but a lot of people do not know. I was actually talking to somebody today, and they didn't know anything about Paris is Burning. They started watching Pose, and they didn't know Pose was real. They were like, "Oh, this is real." They thought it was just a fictional show based in the '80s about underground gay culture. They did not know that this was a real culture. Sorry, but didn't know that the ballroom culture was real. And so, in her speech, she said she wanted to also to highlight the trailblazers that came before her, and she talked about Paris is Burning, and she talked about the people in the movie Paris is Burning, um, and how she said they walked through brick walls so that we didn't have to. And she was just saying how, how influential and trailblazing that movie was. And like I said, in the wake of the success of Pose and My House, just to know that that really was the original Paris is Burning. And I know for myself, I've seen it more than once, and every time I see it, I learn something new. I see something I didn't see before. And I've gone back and Googled some of the people that were in the movie to see their dancing, to see some of their clips on YouTube and things of that nature. And so I tweeted her. Actually, it's funny, I already tweeted her on YouTube. I mean, I said YouTube. Tweeted her to thank her for that. Again, as somebody who's a friend to the LGBTQ, and if I'm missing an initial, I apologize, community, I'm loving that. I feel like in some way, shape, or form, you guys are finally getting some recognition. It's not all by any stretch of the imagination, but you're getting some recognition, and people are acknowledging and seeing you guys for what you have done and for your worth, and really acknowledging the whole culture of ballroom. So, with that being said, it was a great show. Peace.